The Emirates NBA Cup trophy arrived from Dubai to the United States on Tuesday in style. The Emirates unveiled an exclusive NBA-branded A380. The plane is a nod to the first ever Emirates NBA Cup games that tipped off on Tuesday. And speaking of the NBA Cup, in less than a month, 4 teams will hit the road to Las Vegas. And thankfully, we have Perk here who knows a thing or two about road trips and road maps. So Perk, I'm going to give you a team, right? And we're going to dive into, and these teams have all played the first NBA Cup games, and then we're going to dive into what their road map to Vegas would look like. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right. Let's do it. So we're going to start your engine.
Okay.
And let's get it started here. We're going to start in East Group B in this one here. And you can see the Bucks, the Pistons, they won their first game here. You can see where the Pacers, the Heat, the Raptors all trickle out from here. All right. So let's get it started here if we could. First, we're going to go to the Miami Heat in this one, right? Miami. They struggled a little bit here. They fell to the Pistons on Tuesday. This was the game, right, where Eric Spoelstra called a timeout when he had none left after the Pistons tied the game. But the Heat aren't necessarily out here, right? They aren't the favorites tonight against the Pacers, but if they win this one, they still have a shot. BPI favorites in their final 2 Emirates NBA Cup games at home against the Bucks and the Raptors here. So Perk, still no Jimmy Butler in this one. What does their road to Vegas look like?
Well, I'm about to tell you. First of all, let's get a shot of this face. We saw Jalen Rose's face and everybody's face. But if you want to see handsome, there you go right there. Okay, cool. Now let's drive it, Malika, because I got something to say about the Heat. It's been on my heart. Here we go. The Miami Heat, what they need to do to get on track to get to the letters. How much is it? A little bit over $500,000 if you win it all and bring home the cup. Okay, here's the thing. Bam Adebayo had an outstanding Olympics. Eric Spoelstra was his coach. He came into training camp talking about unlocking other players, but not Bam. He's averaging 15 points and 9 rebounds. That should never be the case. When you're talking about a guy who's one of the elite bigs in the game today, in order for them to get back on track, especially when we're talking about going for the NBA Cup, you got to unlock your best player, and right now, that's Bam Adebayo.
All right, Perk, from the East Group B to the West Group B, if we could, let's take a look at this here, right? We have the Spurs, the Lakers, the Thunder. They all play their first NBA Cup games tonight. But on Tuesday, we had the Phoenix Suns, right? They took down the Jazz 120-112. Devin Booker led the way with a game-high 31 points. However, it was Bradley Beal who left the game with 7 minutes and did not return. Phoenix is listing him as out tonight with a calf strain. So 1-0, but the road gets rougher now that Kevin Durant and Beal are both out in this one. Here's a look at the remaining Cup schedule. Tonight they get a showdown in Oklahoma City, and then they finish up Cup play at home against the Los Angeles Lakers and Spurs. You've called the Suns your dark horse to win it all, but what about the NBA Cup?
Well, look, it's a reason that we say that they have a big three. Yes, you don't have Bradley Beal or Kevin Durant, but you do have Devin Booker, who is one of the best shooting guards in today's game. Now it's time for him to elevate. He still has some great pieces around him. You have Tyus Jones, and I'm looking at another guy that they signed a contract extension last year because he was playing so great, and Grayson Allen, right? He's fresh off of having a baby. Congratulations. Congratulations to your new one, but now it's time for you to step up and elevate your game. They need your offensive firepower to help D-Book out until Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant get back.
All right, let's stick in the West here. In West Group A, right, you got the Clippers, you got the Kings, you got the Rockets. They have yet to play their first NBA Cup team on Tuesday, but we also had one of the more shocking results that we have seen thus far, right? The Timberwolves, they were 7.5-point favorites heading into Portland, but they lost 122-108 to the Blazers. They actually lost both games, and they lost the next night to Portland as well. But they have a shot here. After visiting the Kings tonight, they will host the Rockets and the Clippers with Minnesota, the BPI favorite, to win those final 3 games. So, Perk, you said the Wolves' problems was shooting yesterday on our show. Will they have more problems here on their road to Vegas?
They will if they don't correct them. I mean, look, we know Anthony Edwards, he's going to come out. He's going to continue to shoot those threes, and I believe that he's going to make them. But guess what? Oh, Sinead, help me out.
Oh, we're popping wheelies.
Help me out. Here we go. Put it up. But look, Anthony Edwards, we know what he's going to we know what he's going to do. Hold on, let me get my driving skills together.
Yeah, we got to back this up.
There we go. All right, cool. But Julius Randle, you have to get him more involved. Right now, he's averaging about 20 points on the season. Can they please get the man more touches? He should be around that 25 to 26 points per game, and I believe that they can get it done. But if the Minnesota Timberwolves, who traded Karl Anthony Towns away for this young man, and Julius Randle is going to make any noise, especially trying to win the NBA Cup, damn it, get him more involved.
Well, you know, it wouldn't be a road trip without Brian on the aux cord and Janae bringing the snacks here.
Yeah.
Janae, how are Perk's driving skills?
Your driving skills? You grew up driving in Texas, bro. We rough and ready.
Let me tell you something. One thing, if you hop in the car with me, you need to put your seatbelt on.
Clearly. We are all buckled up here. All right, let's take a look at the updated odds to win the second ever NBA Cup here. There's a lot here, Perk, to take a look at. The Knicks, they're leading the way with the shortest odds to win it all, followed by the Cavaliers, the Celtics, the Warriors, the Thunder, the Nuggets. You can see here, Brian, the Lakers won it all last year. You can see their odds. What do you think of Perk's roadmap that he laid out? Who are you looking at?
Okay, my team that I wanted you to take a look at isn't even on here, which is why it's a good bet. The Orlando Magic. There's got to be 4 teams in the East that advance. It's the rules. Boston and Cleveland are in the same group. The Magic, I know they're missing Paolo Banchero, but they're playing much, much better as they've gotten used to it. They're playing great defense. And the pool that they're in has Philly in it, and they're struggling. So watch out for the Orlando Magic to sneak through into the quarterfinals at least.
I have another sneaky good pick. Here's my NBA Cup date. I'm looking at this squad right here. The Bucks, they're up 1-0. What you 59. Giannis Antetokounmpo and 14. I feel like they're finally, I mean, you heard him. He said compete. I think it was on his Instagram too. I feel like he's taking this mentality to really help everyone elevate their game. And also, a boost is going to be getting Damian Lillard hopefully back soon. But Giannis, it seems like he's flipped the switch into psycho mode. And if the Bucks keep rolling, you could see them coming out as well. I think there's the Pacers and the Heat and the Pistons in their group.
I'd like to see the Cleveland Cavaliers, as we sort of laid out. This is an opportunity for them to sort of continue those winning ways for what we know is a bigger goal. Some teams, they're just missing the mark a little bit, okay? And that means we need our Bobby marks. Bobby, there are a number of teams that came into the season with high expectations, and they've really faltered out of the gate. But that is why you're here. You are Mr. Money Mood. So let's go through a couple of teams here and tell us what is what. We're going to start with the New York Knicks, if we could, sir, because the Knicks have lost 4 of their last 6 games. They sit a game under 500 in the Eastern standings. They've been thin at center, a lot of injuries there. It showed on the defensive end, where the Knicks are currently 20th in the NBA. So, Bobby, how do you grade the Knicks situation here?
I think it's C- right now, and I think moving forward, the big unknown is going to be what the health of Mitchell Robinson's going to be. If Mitchell Robinson can come back and certainly help them on the court, that is a big plus. I think also from a trade standpoint, he's their big trade asset with him with 2 years left on his contract. So I think for New York, with 1 available first-round pick, they're pressed against that second apron. They can't take back more money. Kind of what you see is what you get with this Knicks roster until Mitchell Robinson gets back out there.
So if what you see is what you get, Janae, how much pressure then falls on Tom Thibodeau and the Knicks to just get going with who they got?
I wouldn't say it's all the pressure, but I do think it's a majority of the pressure that falls on their coach, because there's going to be a philosophical shift when you get Karl Anthony Towns, because this is a team that we've known for grit and grind and defense. How are you going to be able to continue to build upon what Cat has shown the last 2 games or so? He has been a beast. Y'all, it's not easy to make a transition to New York City, and he's done it smoothly. I love how he's been playing, and I know people love to like his personal defensive numbers, but I think figuring that out with Coach Thibodeau, that's going to be a high priority. Trying to mix that offense that Cat brings with reestablishing a new identity, a new look of their signature defense, because right now I believe they're 20th in defense.
Right, so the New York Knicks are going to have to look internally and get a little bit healthier to fix some of these issues. How about the Miami Heat, right? They've lost 4 of their last 5 games. Jimmy Butler sat out the last 2 with an ankle injury. He's not going to play tonight against the Pacers. All of this, despite Tyler Hero having a great start to the season, 25 points a game, shooting 47% from 3. Bobby, what grade are you giving the Heat's ability to upgrade, to make some moves here?
It's like my grades in high school, another C right now here for the Miami Heat. And when I look at the Heat, I am a tough grader. Listen, when I look at Miami, they have those 2 first-round picks they still owe to Oklahoma City and Charlotte. If the Heat miss the playoffs this year, an unprotected pick goes to Oklahoma City in 26 and Charlotte in 28. They have 1 first-round pick to move. They're pressed up against the second apron. They can't take back more money in a trade. Their big trade chip is injured right now, which is Jimmy Butler. I think Miami is kind of a little bit in that holding pattern, a little bit better maybe than New York as far as available assets to move in a deal, but kind of stuck with where their roster is.
I feel like that Jimmy Butler's injuries, that's got to be a big impact just on how they've started their season.
Yeah, and it happened on this road trip, which is this long road trip that's over 5 cities over a huge number of days. But, you know, Eric Spoelstra had that terrible moment the other night with the timeout they didn't have that cost him a game in Detroit. And from what I understand, he was absolutely devastated when he apologized to the team after the game and even carried over to the next day. But what has happened internally is the players have all, to a man, rallied up to support Spoelstra, including Jimmy Butler, who, by the way, has had issues with Spoelstra in the past. And so I would be interested to see what happens with this Heat team. I know that was a tough loss, and Spo was really upset. It could end up being a bonding moment. And also, I think Jimmy Butler, he's not going to play tonight. He's going to maybe be able to come back by Sunday, so he's coming back hopefully in the short term. Let's see how the Heat react to that piece of adversity in their season. Okay, so holding off a little bit of judgment here on Miami until Jimmy is healthy here. Mr. Marks, I'm not sure we would have passed your class, but thank you so much for stopping by NBA Today. How's your car doing, Perk?
Look who's in front of it, though.
I ain't afraid of the Megalodon.
Watch out. Watch out, Wendy. Be safe.
Put your seatbelt on, Wendy.